doesn't fracture. Hey, doesn't matter.
It don't matter what they say, we gon' talk anyway. Bell rings, mic check, let the real ones play. From the legends to the new blood climbing the ladder. Welcome to the show, it doesn't matter. Notorious Dom set the tone, main event status. BDC bring a fire, every take savage. Strap facts with the knowledge, history splatter. Poppy planting no wild card, say it loud, it doesn't matter. No filter, no bias. This is the It Doesn't Matter podcast.
What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the It Doesn't Matter podcast. I'm your host, I'm Notorious when I am Dom. I'm here with BDC. I'm here with a man that chose tonight's topic. I'm here with Strap Facts. Guys, what's going on?
It's
Hello.
hot.
Can't tell you look cool. Too cool.
Yeah, whole ass lie.
You ain't sweating. I don't see no perspiration under your arm.
Yeah, I don't need to see none of that either.
Strap, what
Well,
up?
man.
What up, Papa? How you doing?
It's good to be right here in the It Doesn't Matter podcast, where we're focusing on a very special man, a very special athlete, a long-tenured man in the world of professional wrestling, the world's strongest man, perhaps, Mark Henry. They signed this big guy back in 1996, fresh off the Olympics that he did not compete in because they got hurt. But he was one of the few guys that are thrown out there with $1 million contracts in the WWF at the time. You know,
Hold on.
Hitman Hart.
Hold on. Wait, hold on. These fools said that this man was in the Olympics. He ain't go to the Olympics?
No. I mean, he was an Olympian. He was training, but I don't think he competed.
Jesus. So I could be Olympian. I could been training and
Yeah.
not been.
I think BDC can fact check that while I'm rambling on and off. Where did I leave off? So, yeah, in 1996, the WWF was throwing out a lot of $1 million contracts to Bret the Hitman Hart, Mark Henry, and the marvelous Mark Mero. So, and over the years, you kind of don't take pay cuts. It's not like the modern WWF. So you had to wonder, why they're paying him so much to do pretty much nothing. And, Mark Henry, I mean, he would get injured, and, he had a revelation on one of the documentaries recently that, his mom passed, so Vince just gave him like a year off, and it's like, okay, but we never knew. He was always injured, he always left for lots of periods of time, He was there, debuting almost around the same time as Rocky Maivia. So, they both ended up in the Nation of Domination, but their careers went wildly different places. So that's Mark Henry, and he would come in and out, he'd float in and out, think about, Brock Lesnar's first appearance in the WWF, right? 2002, Brock Lesnar, one of the big guys he F5'd early on was Mark Henry, so in the big blue outfit, and, something happened, he disappeared, he came back with Teddy Long as the big bruising guy to take that bounty out on Bill Goldberg at Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut, and we were there live, I was there live at least, and all I can recall was like, man, this main event sucks. And you know why I say that? Because the week before, they had RVD and Christian in an Intercontinental title ladder match. Yay. So, and then he would disappear and he would come back. Remember that famous Survivor Series promo with that guy with Edge? It's like, we have something in common. I hit balls. You have no balls. That guy. And he's like, oh, you look like Mark Henry. And that was like an insult. Oh, and then 1 month later, Mark Henry comes back on SmackDown, beating up Batista, arguably beating him so bad he had to give up the World Heavyweight title.
I'm going to cut you off. Do you remember that guy's name? Because me and you talk about this numerous times.
I know. I don't need to know his name. I don't know his name.
Tell the people. Was it, Dimitri Young?
See, you don't even know, but that sounds about right. What's so young about him, anyway?
He was a grizzled young veteran.
Yeah. So he had a good run in 2006, and as a matter of fact, talking about Mark Henry, it's very easy to find out where our topics come from. I'm sure it's his birthday, isn't it, Dom? Sometime right now?
Soon, yes.
Yeah, soon, somewhat soon. And
his 56th birthday is tomorrow.
56?
Oh.
Tomorrow?
Yep.
What? Oh,
He's in what they call in New Japan the young boy.
56? Goddamn, really? I'm gonna look
Yep,
that
That's
shit up.
right.
He'll be
Holy
56 in
shit.
about 3 hours.
Man, he gonna be 55. Don't age him.
Well,
So I gotta tell you what, they
blame the kind folks who put him up a day early, because they
So I
sure
guess
do
big-
have him. That his birthday is tomorrow, but they already have him at 55. That's
Oh.
dumb.
Well, you probably
guess
looking at
big- All right.
Japan. You got your shit on
But-
VPN? That's right. You got that shit like that. I see. Okay.
But
filming
to
live
answer
from
your
Belgium.
question,
Yes.
to answer your question, I did some fact checking.
Uh-huh.
He did compete in 92 and 96 in the Olympics
Okay.
and won the gold, silver, and bronze in the Pan American Games in 95.
Oh, we don't care about Pan America.
You care. You just don't want people to think you care, but you care.
All right. So the 92 and the 96 Olympics?
92 and 96.
He
Yep.
did compete?
Yep.
Okay, but he didn't win. No. So, all right. I still don't feel that bad about it. He didn't win. Well, Chad Gable was also an Olympian. So, there you go. And he didn't win any titles. Wow, a new recording track created. So that's a brief early history of Mark Henry. So we have another half of his career to go. But WWE Vault are one of our favorite free things on YouTube, except for those damn ads. They did release a 2-hour compilation of Mark Henry's best matches, and I was very suspect about this because I'm like, I don't really think Mark Henry is a great rep. But I gotta tell you, I didn't even finish the thing, but I did get stopped at one thing. So they had, on this WWE Vault special, they had The Undertaker and Mark Henry in the casket match at WrestleMania with the streak on the line.
I skipped
And
that
you're
one
just-
because I know that one by heart.
Does that mean you liked it, or you just had enough? of it?
I did, but there was a match before that match that I enjoyed that caught me off guard, and I added to the 2K universe. Rey Mysterio and Mark Henry.
An interesting matchup for sure. Yeah.
Yo, BDC, I forgot how the finish was. I think Strap could quote me. I think Ray went for the 619. He got the 619, and then he was going for the pin. The 1-2. He just laying on top of him. This dude, Mark Henry, rolled over his head, picked up Rey Mysterio, and hit him with the world's strongest slam. I said, "Oh my God, this dude, he's freakish. He's freakish." Yeah, I like that joint. I had to add it to my list. It was good. But yeah, I skipped that match though. But yeah, go ahead.
But I mean, I remember the match. It's not something I would ever look forward to watching again. So I never got sick of it. But watching it with fresh eyes, I'm like, wow, like that was really awesome. I thought they did a really good job, especially the finish. It's Undertaker in rapid succession, nail the tombstone. And I thought he'd, take his time, push him in slow. No, man, he tombstoned him and pushed him right in just to get the match over. And it just wrapped up really hot, really nice. So I was like, well, it takes two to tango in a match. So good for Mark Henry there. Maybe, right? Give the props to the Undertaker.
Said, "You big motherfucker."
Yeah, man. 2006 Undertaker, he just yeeting Mark Henry up like that. Ooh, boy. And
Hold on.
then it's like,
Before you,
Yeah.
hold on. I'm thinking about this Mark Henry on the vaults. BDC.
Yep.
Did you know Melina managed Mark Henry?
I did not.
Exactly. I ain't know either till I seen that shit. Caught
I
me
mean, it
off
was
guard.
such a small thing. It was just to get some heat on Mark Henry at the time, and Melina was like the hottest thing in the company, so they had to pair them together. Okay, you want to? Okay, so there's this guy named Tommy DeBull.
The bull.
Follow him.
What up,
Follow him on
Tommy? Yeah.
Facebook. He's a photographer now.
Ryan Murphy.
Uh,
Or Ramel, excuse me.
the worst of the best. So I think we were at the Armageddon pay-per-view in 2005, and at that time, Tom was always in and out of watching wrestling with me, but we did make it to this show, and so he hadn't really been following the product. I just assumed that if you're spending money to go to a live show, you might be interested in the product. That's never the case.
Do some type of research, right?
Something. So he's like, "Who's this guy? Who's this guy?" And I'm like, "Well, unfortunately, the hottest guy is Ken Kennedy, and he's injured right now. Eddie Guerrero just passed away. Batista was, I mean, he did wrestle on the show, but he was, he was hurt, and it was just a down time for the company. But here comes MNM, the hottest tag team of that time, coming down to the ring, and I'm like, dude, this is like one of the best entrances in wrestling right now. He's like, okay, and he literally watched the entire thing. Turns to me and he's like, I don't see what's special about it. And you know when he turned to me? When Melina did the splits.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, I don't see what's so
Because
special about it.
he
You
had
just
no
missed
Oh my
it.
idea.
goodness. Oh my
Because-
goodness. And John, yeah.
Like
Then I
your
challenged him to a Hell in
situational
a Cell
awareness,
match.
bud,
Where
is
is Tommy
negative
the Bull?
100.
Where is Tommy the Bull right now? Where is he?
Somewhere in southeastern Connecticut.
You don't talk to him no more.
He's not into wrestling right now. He might come back to it, but he was into AEW for a little while. We had nice AEW pay-per-views,
Hey,
parties with
Let me
sushi.
talk to him. Let me talk to him. I can make him a fan again by following the It Doesn't Matter podcast.
I asked him to be a guest on the show, and he said yes until he bailed last minute. So, Tom, if you're listening to this, I believe that's the umpteenth time you've bailed on John Lee in your entire life. So you better knock it off.
Let me talk to him.
Add him on Facebook. Jesus Christ, what do you want me to do? Fuck,
Well,
man.
send me the link. I'll say, hey, let me talk to you.
Tell rings like this. Like, why don't you just talk to him instead? I'm like,
Next
broker.
MC show up. All right, well, Strap, you chose Mark Henry, excuse me.
Say his
Mark
name
Henry.
and get it
He
wrong.
appears. I believe in Mark Hendrick.
What? All
Why
right.
did you choose the world's strongest man, Mark Henry?
Would you like the kayfabe reason, or would you like the real reason?
I want both. Give me kayfabe first.
Kayfabe? Okay, because Mark Henry is a former world heavyweight champion, and I love former world heavyweight champions, especially guys with long careers. It kind of you deserve it
Don't say
kind
that.
of moment.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Because we're going to do a damn show about David Arquette.
He didn't deserve it.
That I will not be a part of that show.
You ain't like Ready to Rumble?
I will not be a part of that show.
I've seen worse movies in theaters.
Yes, you have. You pay.
Yeah.
VPN. All right. And the actual reason?
Because I thought it'd be hilarious to talk about something no one wanted to talk about.
Why would you think that? I like Mark Henry. BDC like Mark Henry. Pod no sleep, but he like Mark Henry.
This guy sucks. He's the worst wrestler of all time. It doesn't matter what I said a second ago.
Yeah.
This guy's dull. This guy's duller than a used eraser on a pencil.
He just
Really?
needed to.
Yeah.
Some calls.
So,
Somebody
all right.
about to get their.
Wow.
Somebody got to get the ass whipped.
Well,
Somebody about to get the head with the wig split.
I met Mark Henry. Mark Henry's a cool ass dude. So
Yes, he
Strap,
is.
I
He's a
want to
very
ask
cool
you.
guy.
I want to ask you a question. In 1996, when you see Mark Henry with the red, white, and blue with the Kango hat, red, white, and blue, what are your first thoughts on him?
Eddie Winslow.
Shit.
Wow.
Well, at least he ain't in jail. All right.
Well, I always, yeah, right. I don't know. He always believed in the new superstars. 1996, great year. You know, there's always introducing someone new, but you know, they had guys like the Wild Man, Mark Merrow, and Stone Cold Steve Austin, those new stars to me at the time. But if you watch WCW just 2 years earlier, you know who they were.
You didn't, because you started in 95.
That's right. And so, you know, Mark Henry came in, and I mean, it obviously didn't work out this way. It worked for the better for Mark Henry, but he got thrown in there with all the new guys like Freddie Joe Floyd and T.L. Hopper. And he got out of that. Well, it took a long time, you know. But when he first came out, I was like, all right, I expect, you know, I was a young kid, you know, so I was expecting a lot out of everybody, but it just didn't work. It didn't work for me, brother. So I don't think Mark Henry ever earned his stripes in the WFE until like 2006. From 2006 on, that Mark Henry was more consistent in wrestling, and he had more of a career than he had from 96 to 2006. Wow, a whole 10 years. So if he had a 20-year career, half of it didn't matter.
I got a 2-part question for you guys. Strap. Mark Henry debuted in 1996. What year did he get the braids?
The braids, I think he's one of them other. He's like Triple H. He missed the invasion, so
That is
2002.
true.
I think 2002. He came out with them. I could see him in that blue singlet. Yeah.
Hold on. See, wow, I didn't think it was that goddamn long. So he did miss the invasion. So 96,
Yep.
Yeah.
97, 98, 99.
Yeah. Sexual Chocolate never had the braids.
Yep. Sexual
Did
Chocolate didn't have the braids.
BDC?
Didn't have Ivory.
Nation of
this-
Domination didn't have the braids.
BDC. This is what I was going to ask you. Like, as black men, we know you get your shit sewn in nowadays. Like, that shit ain't real.
Mhm.
Like, now that got me thinking. Like, hold on. Strap just said he wasn't there for the invasion angle.
Mhm. Yep.
Where the fuck was he? Was he hurt? Strap?
Those things I don't really know that well. So I just know he was just gone, and I don't know the reasons why. Like I said, one of those reasons was his mom passing away, but I would just assume he got injured a lot, and that's he was gone.
What the?
So that's why there's not much of him to talk about, especially in that era. But
So
from
he
the 2006,
came back when they had
yeah.
the brand split, basically.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, I can't really
And I knew
track
he had
any more than that.
I knew he had fake hair. I knew that shit.
Fake hair. He could have grown it. Well, how long? I don't know. How long does that take?
Dog, my hair was the same length as his. My shit was 3 years. This dude's gone for what, like 6 or like 5 years?
Hey, call him. His initials are MH, but he could be MJF, and he could have had some work done.
The MJ
in
really had that
Turkey.
shit? He really had that shit?
What?
The
MJF?
plugs. The plugs.
Punk? CM Punk? John Cena? Who do you want me to stop naming white guys with bad hairlines?
Nah, John Cena, he still got the ball shit. You can still see that shit.
Oh, sure.
Punk shit good.
If you look at 2017, John Cena, you can see the spot, but it just looks like he still has a buzz cut, so it blends in. It's really wild.
Wow.
But we're not here to talk about John Cena's hairline.
Strap, what you got for me before we go on to the next segment?
I don't know. You keep cutting me off every time I keep
bad.
going. So
No,
because you know why? Because you have a question, you have a thought.
I do have a
That's
thought,
all
but
That's
Strap,
all
what you
right.
got? BDC, what you got?
What you mean? What I got? What you mean? What I got? What you mean?
You ain't looking nothing up?
Well,
So very much.
Well,
Okay. Well, there you go.
I did some digging to try to find out why exactly Mark Henry missed the invasion angle in WWE, and Copilot was very non-committal in the answer. It said he wasn't part of the roster at the time, which is a lie. It says that, but it does say that the invasion angle was built around a specific set of characters and storylines, primarily the defection of Stone Cold Steve Austin, the formation of the Alliance, and the WWF's winner-take-all Survivor Series match. The roster for that angle was carefully curated to fit the kayfabe of the Monday Night War, and Henry was not included.
Jesus.
That makes no sense at all.
One good way to track this is to track the video games. Because back at the time, I think we probably got every single one every year it came out, right?
Yeah.
So you probably have the first two PS1 SmackDowns. Mark Henry was in both of those.
Not me. I had asked for.
All right, fine. But for me, PlayStation folk, he was in those first two. The next game was Just Bring It on the PS2.
I had that.
I can't tell if he was in that one. I think he might have been.
I gotta look. BDC, look it up.
All right, he'll look it up.
Cool.
But after that, I think he was a fairly normal featured character in all the games.
Yes.
Kind of like, Chris Jericho, Edge, a Hardy Boy.
BDC, so you're gonna look up Mark Henry in SmackDown. No,
Just Bring It. SmackDown, Just Bring It, PS2.
I was gonna say WWF or Raw vs SmackDown. Yeah, whatever. Go ahead.
Well,
the first Raw vs. SmackDown was, I think, 05.
I just fell into something. Apparently,
she said.
And got back up,
Charlie
fell
Brown.
back in, got back up, fell back in. Anyway, so apparently Kurt Angle does this interview back in January 2025.
He hated the black people.
And he discusses Mark Henry. So it says Mark Henry became well known outside of the professional wrestling industry by becoming a successful powerlifter. The rest of the locker room did not exactly embrace Henry when he signed a 10-year contract with WWE in 1996. Henry had a rough start and was the target of the practical jokes after being relentlessly ribbed by the roster. When asked if Henry might have been resentful of having the high guarantee during an appearance on Storytime with Dutchman and Mantel, Angle explained why the world's strongest man was subjected to such constant bullying. I don't know, to be honest with you. Mark is a good dude. I have so much respect for him, but when he came in, I know he didn't talk a lot. Mark can be a little quiet at times when he doesn't know people. When he knows people, he's loud and energetic and very excited to hear. I think he kind of kept to himself, and that makes you mysterious and makes the boys, stars in the locker room, think the guy has an attitude. That's why I think they kind of screwed with Mark in the beginning. It wasn't because of the money he got, but because, let's face it, the guy's the strongest man in the world. He deserves a contract like that. I just think he didn't really get to know the people, or maybe they didn't get to know him or who he really was. And I think that's why he had a difficult time in the first couple of years. Keep that in mind, because if you remember, JBL said he did an interview where he was talking about Mark Henry doing something like I don't remember what exactly he did, but it was something power related. And by the time he was done doing it, JBL literally said to him, "Man, listen, if I've ever made you upset or pissed you off in any way, I'm sorry." He literally said, "Yeah, he literally said that." So that was very interesting. He got bullied his first couple of years. That's very interesting to see. Yeah, that's very interesting to see. Now, you want me to look up what? You want me to look him up for Just Bring It, or?
It don't matter.
Yes, it does.
We know he's been in the company for a minute, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, let's see. Mark Henry has appeared in 17 main WWE video games.
There you have it.
He's been in 17.
Was he in Just Bring It? We don't need nothing else.
Oh, man.
Okay, was he in Just Bring It? It looks like the answer is...
Dirty Pop.
Go ahead,
What
Strap.
the hell was that?
Dirty Pop.
Okay.
You can't stop.
All right. He was...
A good man. An honest man.
Hold on.
They never put these in alphabetical order, do they?
So it literally, so he was not in Just Bring It, but it says list
So he was in that.
Gives
so we need
players. It gives a list of wrestlers that was not in the game and why.
What's his reason?
For Mark Henry, it says was sent back to developmental, then took a 2-year sabbatical to focus on strongman competitions, and subsequently rebuilt his gimmick upon return from during development.
All right. Well,
so yeah, so
sorry, Strap. Sorry for your
damn
load.
Yeah, so it was
CW.
Superstars such as D'Lo Brown, Tiger Ali Singh, blah 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 blah.
blah. Yes.
Wait,
all right.
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn just
because
coming
remember,
back.
Shawn Michaels lost his smile.
He was just coming back.
Michaels was likely removed because of his heavily reported unprofessional conduct between March and April 2001, particularly in the build-up to WrestleMania 17. While his actual name is a selectable nickname, there exist non-selectable voice clips for his nickname, the Heartbreak Kid. So his nickname was in the game, but he wasn't.
Just like today. Well, for other people. All right, well, that doesn't matter. Let's get into more of Mark Henry because the people ain't hear what we have to say. Strap, I'm going to lean on you with these questions because I asked the people earlier today their thoughts on Mark Henry. They sent me their comments, so I'm going to read it out. Strap, give your opinion. BDC, you do the same thing. So here we go. Welcome to the fan comment segment of the show. All right, so our first comment that we had is from a loyal fan, Randy. And he wanted to talk about his retirement angle with the pink suit. And I love that. It caught me off guard. I thought, I remember back in the day, you check your phone, Mark Henry has a big announcement today, and then you see what happens. He put the boots down. I love y'all. I love y'all. You know, I can't do this.
Out of all of us.
I can't do this without y'all. You know, hey, John Cena. No, John Cena. No, I can't wear your belt. This is your belt. Blah blah blah. blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I love y'all. And then
The
John Cena.
swerve.
We got the biggest swerve of all
The biggest
time.
swerve.
Yo,
Yes, sir.
that's what I do. I ain't done yet. I ain't done yet.
That's what I do.
Well, that's what he did. And then when he met John Cena, he didn't win. But it was a good segment. Hey, new opponent for John Cena, Strap. What are your thoughts on that?
I've never seen it.
Excuse me?
I've never seen it.
Where were you
It
at
was
the
one
time?
of those things, like, it's on, I'm not really interested, and then something happens at the end, like, oh, it was going this way, and then, well, what happened? Okay. And then he did that. Then he, you know, he faked out.
Wow.
Then he did that. I wasn't interested, and I've never seen it. I've never gone back to watch it. I don't care. I do not care.
Oh my
And
God.
also to play into that,
Hold on. I'm sorry, Strap, for keep cutting you off, but
you keep cutting me off.
I
But
can't
go
help
ahead.
it because you catch me off guard tonight. I ain't expecting shit from you.
Do you see notes? I ain't got notes.
I ain't got no notes either.
Yeah, you
Wait.
do.
No. Well, ask you the questions. But
All right. Yeah.
do you remember? Did you watch his Hall of Fame? Did you see Jacob with a salmon jacket?
Who?
Oh my God. His son, Jacob.
No, never
You-
seen that either.
You didn't watch his Hall of Fame speech?
Not interested. I don't like Mark Henry.
Why'd you choose him then?
It was a joke. That's the shoot. It was a joke. I wanted to pick someone I didn't care about and see how well I could talk about him. And I can. I can talk about his history. It don't mean I like the guy.
Oh my
I know his
Lord.
career, but yeah. So I wasn't interested in this angle. It was a very famous one, obviously, but I was not interested in his work, his matches, his promos, nothing. But I'm being fair in the fact that, you know, we just talked about one match, you know, the Rey Mysterio thing. Yeah, that I didn't know what you were talking about until you mentioned it. I was like, as it was going on, I was like, oh yeah, he did do that thing. And that was pretty awesome. And that match with The Undertaker in the casting match, surprisingly awesome. Then another match on that playlist on the WWE Vault, him, Kane, and the Big Show in the triple threat match for the ECW title.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
I mean, I remember back then, I was like, I think this is a really awesome match because
Hell
they
no.
had
Kane got hurt. Hell no. I ain't like that shit.
no, never mind that. It was three giants of the Attitude Era
Yes,
wrestling
yes,
way
yes.
past their time to be wrestling. I mean, in a sense. And here they are, and they're just going at it. I'm like, I like that. Then, you know, of course, he had memorable moments in matches with him winning the world title from Randy Orton at that pay-per-view. And then I didn't even get that far, but his, you know, it's like he has a short reign as champion, and it talk about things that happen between WrestleManias that don't really matter in a sense. It's like he didn't make it WrestleMania to WrestleMania as a main eventer. That sucks. No. WrestleMania 12, it did a disservice to lots of guys. I mean, freaking Mark Henry and The Miz were in the Johnny Ace, Teddy Long 10-man match. Zack Ryder.
Not WrestleMania 12.
Zack Ryder. WrestleMania 28.
You said 12.
2012, which is true in Miami. But, you know, Zack Ryder be the hottest thing at that time. He was also they just shoved all the great things about 2011 in this throwaway 10-man tag or whatever. But yeah, there's a lot to there. He's had such a long career. There's a lot to like. There's a lot to dislike. A lot to pay attention to or ignore. And the salmon suit thing, not my cup of tea. Mm-mm.
Strap, you really threw me off tonight, bro. I'll tell you that right now.
See, exactly. I know how to talk about this guy. Doesn't mean I had to like him, and I can talk fairly.
Yes, yes, I give you that. So, oh my God, so you just ruined my notes? Like, I had shit for you.
Did it make you cry? No.
I'm not gonna lie. Watching that segment between him and John Cena, I'm like, damn. Like, I seen this dude when he came into the biz. I seen that shit, and then he about to leave, and then you think I was done? No, I got a lot more mileage in my boots. That's what I do. Like, oh my God.
It didn't help that he was in a program with John Cena, who I also didn't care for either at the time. So
I hated John
Just,
Cena. I hated John Cena at the time. So don't feel
Yeah.
bad. Don't feel bad.
I don't feel bad.
Oh my god. All right. Well, fan question number 2. And I think you might have to agree with this one because Mark Henry wasn't booked how he should have been. What you think? They pushed him in the beginning in '96, but it
See,
wasn't
now
happening.
Vince McMahon claims to know how to book big man wrestlers, and this is not Mark Henry per se, but this pertains to the Big Show because Vince booked Andre the Giant a certain way, and he booked all the big guys a certain way because in the '80s they were all big, so it was a successful time. It worked for the '80s. That physique, that style didn't work in the 2000s. Late '90s to an extent, but you had hints of brilliance with guys like the Big Show and Mark Henry. That's why they've wrestled each other in that 3-way. They're just lumped together sometimes. And how they booked Mark Henry overall. I mean, at times they booked him great. Obviously that Hall of Pain run was tremendous.
That's his best run.
But at the same token, you have that, and then you have him team with MVP as Team Kool-Aid. So how tough is Mark Henry then? So he's had up and down booking, Big Show. I mean, every wrestler has. No one stays strong like a John Cena for a decade at a time.
Do you think that they wasted his prime, or it was just slightly delayed?
I don't think he could ever be relied upon to be the reliable guy because he would just be very injury prone, or he would be taken away from the ring. He was just a never consistent character, whether that was by design or by happenstance. So, but maybe that's what helps. Having such an intermittent career extends it. So maybe that helped Mark Henry to be around every so often and not there every single day.
All right. Well, what would you say about his legacy?
It's time for the main event.
Yeah, that was sure. What the hell?
He had enough. He got enough.
Who's that? Odyssey Jones right there? What the hell?
He's like, I'm out of this. He's back. But his legacy.
BDC, what the hell you
So
been at?
apparently, despite the fact that I sent you a picture of me being in here and hearing everything
But you wasn't on you wasn't on the screen.
I don't know what to tell you. You saw the picture. I was there.
I seen the picture. You wasn't in the screen though. That's the thing. My question was for you.
I'm like, what do you mean you can't see? What do you mean where I'm at? I'm right here.
Yeah, on our screen, bro. You've been disappearing for like 4 minutes.
BC just checked out. He's like, he had enough.
You feel like strapped. He don't care about Mark Henry.
I care about Mark Henry plenty.
All right. What'd you think about his pink salmon?
Yeah, what do you think about
much more than strap?
What do you think about the salmon jacket? What do you think about the salmon jacket segment?
I actually think that segment boosted him into the main event status for a little while.
But he didn't win it. He won it though.
Yeah, it boosted him up there. Yeah, it didn't pay out. But what it ultimately, and that had seemingly more to do with that whole we ain't giving the black guy the WWE Heavyweight Championship thing, which is why they put him up there. They didn't know quite what to do, but they finally put like the big gold strap on him. It was a weird time. Like I absolutely thought that he should have absolutely gone over at that point. At least a short title run, maybe even transitional, maybe John Cena wins it back at the next pay-per-view or something like that. But it should have definitely been more than what it ended up being.
All right. Okay. Yep. Well, our next question is from Ringside. The NXT guy that loves our show, Ringside. He texted me, he said, Dom, Mark Henry wasn't over till he was sexual chocolate, till he banged Mae Young. And after that, he got over again with the Hall of Pain. Guys, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, he was definitely over with the Hall of Pain. That for sure. I think the sexual chocolate gimmick, they didn't really know what to do with him at that point, because it all started based off of that whole angle where he was being, he was following China as part of the member of the nation. And then they had that whole thing where they tried to take down China in the ring and make her do some questionable shit and all of that. And that's kind of where sexual chocolate came from. So I don't think a whole lot of people was like, oh yeah, well, let's go ahead and create a character after that damn stalker shit that we saw on Raw. So yeah, sexual chocolate didn't really catch on all that well. And I guess they figured it needed a little jump. That was the craziest little jump I ever saw, but kind of accurate that after that, he kind of turned face almost immediately, and all of a sudden he was over. And for no other reason than because he was turned face. I don't know.
Well, Ringside is a very peculiar character.
That he is.
He knows to ask tough questions and say the tough things. You think Dom thinks I throw curveballs, and Ringside's a picture of a different sort. But anyway, hey, WWF makes characters. They made Sexual Chocolate. Val Venus. They made The Godfather. They made all sorts of characters. So, this is just another one. If what they had wasn't working, they weren't afraid at that time of the WWF to just change course and do something entirely different. Unless, of course, you're Dr. Death Steve Williams and lose the Brawl for All, and they're screwed with all the Dr. Death Steve Williams figures hanging on the Walmart shelves.
All right. Well, people joke about the sexual chocolate era. I enjoyed it. It was cool. My man Mark Henry, big Hershey bar pause. But everybody know when he turned into the Hall of Pain, he was all serious. And this is where the opinions, they might split right here. Because the Hall of Pain definitely completely changed his reputation. Like, when he hit the Hall of Pain, when he beat Randy Orton for that title, I was all for it. And then when he came to Bridgeport, Connecticut, and then that's what I do. He came on the title, he talking that talk. I was a big fan of Mark Henry at that time. Like, yo, this is it. Strap, you didn't care for Mark. How'd you think about his Hall of Fame era?
When I think back about it separately from before, I did watch Mark Henry's Hall of Fame speech because I remember him putting on the cape and hitting on Stephanie. So I do remember parts of it.
Hey, Macho
But
Man.
I don't remember seeing his son. So there you go. I'm sure he was there. I'm sure it happened. But yeah, the Hall of Pain legacy. Now that's a strong one. That's his career. That's the end of that's his highlight, And yeah, he's had the sexual chocolate. Yeah, he had all those other things. And, I kind of stopped at this point, at this era when he started, he went from 2006 to 2011. Well, actually, more like, 2010 or something like that when he started doing that and just started being taken as a more vicious character, more seriously. He always portrayed like a mean guy, heel, but you could never take him seriously. He just lost to the big stars on Raw. He was never a pay-per-view threat. I'm thinking mostly about that Goldberg thing, so where, they built him up. He got that bounty. He looked like a vicious monster, and man, Goldberg just beat him. And, in 2006, that seemed like his time too, but, they went with Kurt Angle instead to win that battle royal. But at that time, Mark Henry was in that mix. And so you're just like, oh, so close to the scene, but no. So yeah, the Hall of Pain, got him the world title. And I just think, again, physically, he was worn out. So, there were, remember, Daniel Bryan was not in the plan. He wasn't even booked for that December pay-per-view. So they had no issues with it. But, maybe something came out like, hey, he's got a bad knee. He wants to take some time off. Oh, we have this stupid briefcase thing. Let's use that tonight. And that's the end of Mark Henry as the world champion. And from after that, he kind of just coasted on that. He did have another one-on-one match with Ryback. And
My God, that was terrible. WrestleMania 30, 20, what, 9?
2013.
29.
Yeah.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah, I mean, he won. It was a very surprising victory because they're pushing Ryback hard at the time, but they just did it so he could turn him heel the next night, like give him a reason to. But it was still a surprising finish
I would have
live.
turned heel too if you had me dressed up like a Ninja Turtle.
Show me, Big E. Show me. Yes. Yeah, but Mark Henry's last. I mean, his last notable appearance to me, not even notable, but he was in the WrestleMania 32 Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I mean, he got a big pop. It was Texas, so he came out for that, and that was a nice moment. But yeah, so that was his peak, man. Peak was winning the world title, Hall of Pain run, and it was great. It was good work, very good work.
So you said that was the peak right there, because we have another comment from our boy, B. Michael Davis. He'd been on the show beforehand, and he said one of his top moments of Mark Henry was when Mark Henry returned and he laid out The Undertaker, and then Edge cashed in the Money in the Bank. He said this is peak Hall of Pain era. What you got to say about that?
I'm sorry, I missed. Is a Money in the Bank cash in? What did Mark Henry have to do with it? With
He
Edge?
laid out the Undertaker.
Yes.
He laid out the Undertaker and left him vulnerable for Edge to cash in on him.
Man, that's wonderful because I don't remember that.
Shit. Wow. This is strap facts right here. Do y'all hear this?
Sure, I know. I mean, he cashed in the Money in the Bank on the Undertaker because I don't know why. No, I don't know. I don't remember that very well. I don't remember. I remember something with the Undertaker and Edge. Sure, some weird stuff going on there. But Mark Henry, yeah, okay. It's like let's talk about better run-ins. Okay, let's talk about Eddie Guerrero, Brock Lesnar. Goldberg was interfering in that matchup. Even though the big moment's Eddie winning, of course.
BDC, I'm gonna get a text later. I'm gonna get full footage and everything. He's like, you was right. Wow, strap is stumped.
I remember Ken Anderson having the Money in the Bank and Edge beating him for it.
I remember that. Yes, I remember
that's
that.
it.
I remember that.
But Mark Henry, nope, don't remember him being involved in that.
Honestly, I don't recall this either. To be
don't
honest
doubt it, but don't remember.
BDC is my man B. Michael Davis. Is he correct?
We are looking into this right now.
He said 2017. When he typed 2017, I ain't thinking like, nah, hell no.
But the big star is Edge and the Undertaker. Mark Henry's third in this, and that's his favorite moment. Like, okay, sure. Yeah, you can entitled to your opinion.
Whatever you say, pal.
That's what you like? It's like saying Lita was the best part of Edge's first world title win. Like, yeah, she was there.
We love the sex celebration. That's what we love.
Deborah was the best part of the WrestleMania 17 matchup.
So he's saying what, 2017?
He said 2017.
I don't think so.
Let's see.
I don't think so either.
Edge was retired in 2011.
Yeah. So what I see is in 2007.
Maybe 07 he meant.
Okay.
In 2007.
Oh, excuse me. My fault. He did say 07. I said, okay, my fault. Yes. It was 2007, not 17.
Okay. So in 2007, Taker and Batista fought in a steel cage match.
Okay.
And it looks like he got his ass beat. Edge attacked him, leading to a no contest, and then into the championship match, and he took it from there. So, according to what I'm reading here, Mark Henry had zero to do with that. So I'm going to I am continuing to look.
It could be possible.
Well,
so let's see.
I mean, Edge only won the Money in the Bank twice.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So I mean, But so what's the other one? Yeah, it's John Cena. Where's Mark Henry? Boy, I mean, I don't think there's any. I don't think Mark Henry has any relevance to any Edge World title win here. So, but hey, jury's still out.
All right. Well, I have another comment from a guy on X named Jordan Taylor. He said that Mark Henry had a really good career, especially during the Hall of Pain era in 2011. This is what made him a legend, and that's why he still says to this day, "That's what I do." So this might be the cleanest statement of the whole episode. So, Strap, what are your thoughts on the Hall of Pain era?
I thought that's what we were talking about.
Wait.
Oh, whoa. Wait.
Deodorant.
Wait a minute. Upon further review,
Okay.
it says, yes, Mark Henry did cost The Undertaker the World Heavyweight Championship in WWE. In May 2007, during a SmackDown episode, Henry attacked
There you go.
Undertaker after a brutal World Heavyweight Championship steel cage match against Batista. Mark Henry attacked him afterwards. Phenom was left reeling and unable to defend himself as Henry delivered a series of devastating punches and multiple rib-crushing splashes. The assault created the opportunity for Edge to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase, defeating Taker and becoming the new world champion. The incident was part of a larger storyline where Henry was positioning himself as a top contender, and he openly referenced WrestleMania 22, when Undertaker had cost him a shot at the title in a casket match against Kurt Angle. The May 2007 attack was a direct consequence of that rivalry and a clear attempt by Henry to eliminate Undertaker from the title picture.
Okay.
And then,
All right.
yep, and it's followed up by actual footage of Mark Henry laying it on the Undertaker in Pittsburgh.
Well, we failed. This show is over time. What else you got, Dom?
Well, like I said, it's over the Hall of Pain era, and I also have, well, like I said, we are in overtime. So, final round. When you hear Mark Henry's name, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Strap?
Dude bent a quarter with his fingers.
All right.
I mean, it's an appropriate title. He's the world's strongest man. And you can think of him. I remember him lifting the car. He, like Farouk, the early brand split, 2002. Ron Simmons was the betting man. And he's like, I'll bet you can't lift this car up. And he did it with his shoulders in the door jam. It was pretty funny. But yeah, just think of him winning the world title. He won it that one time, and it's very memorable because of that. He had a long career in WWE, very respected, and definitely a character all the way from the Attitude Era. People love the Attitude Era. So just a tremendous WWF superstar, definitely deserving of a Hall of Fame position. So Mark Henry,
He got it.
divisive guy.
He got the Hall of Fame position already. What are you talking about?
He definitely deserves his Hall of Fame position. Dom, you're tired. This show is long. What else is next?
Last question. Is Mark Henry overrated?
No.
He was never pushed super duper over his skill set, whether you liked it or not. He wasn't shoved down your throats like that. So no, he's not overrated at all.
Good. Exactly. Well, next week is Patino's choice, and he chose ECW One Night Stand 2006. Now I'm gonna run through the card right quick. So here we go. In our opening match, we have Taz taking on Jerry the King Lawler. I'm not sure who I sent the TikTok to. Not BDC, because I know he ain't got no more. Somebody been plotting though, so yeah. But after this, we have my man, Kurt Angle, taking on my other man, Randy Orton. Oh yes, it's true. It is damn true. After this, we have a tag team match. We have the FBI, Lil Guido and Tony Mamaluke with Big Guido taking on Yoshihiro Tajiri and Super Crazy. Strap, I ain't mess up the name.
Good job.
After this, we have an Extreme Rules match for the World Heavyweight Championship. We have Rey Mysterio taking on Sabu. After this, we have a hardcore match. We have Edge, Mick Foley, and Lita taking on Terry Funk, Tommy Dreamer, and Beulah McGillicuddy. Sharp, how you feel about the show right now?
It's so ingrained in my memory. Like I have a very good memory of everything that you're saying, and so I guess that means I've watched the show way too many times, hoping it would get better.
All right. Well, let me ask you a question. What is the difference between the hardcore match and the Extreme Rules match?
One's in WWF and one's in EC.
Well, we have another Extreme Rules match because we have Balls Mahoney taking on Masato Tanaka.
Would you say No Holds Barred versus Extreme Rules?
Hardcore and Extreme Rules.
Hardcore versus Extreme Rules.
Hardcore versus Extreme Rules? Okay. I wonder if they have both in the video game. That'd be wild. BDC, look that up. Just kidding. Don't do that.
Well, hey, that's his job.
No. Not tonight, it's not.
And then your main event is another Extreme Rules match. It's for the WWE Championship. We have Rob Van Dam taking on John Cena. BC's typing, I hear him.
Yep. Sure is.
What you got?
Read right on over there.
Using DuckDuckGo.
Why is Riverside putting a message up?
GoDaddy.com.
Hope you cut this part out. A lot of quietness right now.
I know, right? Come
Yep.
on, BZ Dad.
Okay.
I mean,
So-
you'd figure a co-pilot would give some shitty answer out.
Yeah, well, I mean, there has been hardcore matches. There has been Extreme Rules matches. I just am not sure whether they've both been in the game at the same time.
Yeah, okay. See, if you said no holds barred match, I could at least argue that. Like a no holds barred match is no weapons. It's just holds. Because the jackknife powerbomb was banned,
Correct.
therefore that hold is, not barred. But hardcore versus Extreme Rules. I mean, Extreme Rules could be like, all right, it's a 30 count outside the ring. And a hardcore match is just, okay, you can use chairs and shopping carts.
Exactly.
Extreme Rules could be like, all right, a low oxygen match. We're going to remove the oxygen from the ring and see how y'all wrestle.
That's wild.
Okay.
Extreme Rules.
So here we go. So how they're played in the game. So Extreme Rules matches has a wide variety of weapons and are often more chaotic, high impact moves. Introduced to WWE games around 2010. Designed to feel like the televised Extreme Rules events with a mix of weapon use and no DQ. The hardcore match has often used for matches with fewer weapons restrictions than Extreme Rules matches. But it looks like they've never, if they've been in games, they've had their own separate match types, each with its own rules and weapon sets. But it still does not indicate that they've ever been in the same game simultaneously. Still does not say that.
Well, as they say on this show, it doesn't
Extreme
matter.
Rules is more hardcore. They're basically saying hardcore is a limited version of Extreme Rules. That's what it's basically coming down to.
I accept these terms.
All right. Well, guys, next with this set. Did you guys enjoy this Mark Henry episode?
I hope you did.
Yes, we enjoyed the utter confusion and chaos that was created in this episode.
Yeah,
Much like that
left.
retirement promo creating chaos and confusion became this entire show.
Strap went left when we was going right, but it doesn't matter. It's all good.
Strap Fax's GPS had a cliff in it.
Okay, wrap it up, Dom.
All right, well, I'm your host. I'm Notorious One. I am Dom. I'm here with BDC. I'm here with the man that chose this topic of Mark Henry. I'm here with Strap Facts. Platino, he is asleep. It doesn't matter. But this is a good show right here. Strap caught me off guard. I ain't gonna lie. I thought my man was gonna, talk all positive about Mark Henry, but he wasn't a fan.
He said, damn that.
He
Damn that, he said.
He said, damn them dreads. Shake them dreads. Well, you know what? We will see you guys next time. Boom.